last call. These two words spoken by Dodge CEO Tim Kuniskis marked the beginning of what was intended to be a triumphant celebration of the Hemi-powered Challenger and Charger cars. However, this campaign, launched with the best intentions, rapidly turned to a year-long expose of greed and deception by Dodge dealerships nationwide. But what if I told you that last call is actually just a small taste of an overall problem, and that the 2-year Never Live program is filled with plenty of examples of how these Dodge dealerships will later portray Dodge.
And it's really important that we need to talk about the 23 model year Chargers and Challengers will be the last of the Hemi powered L cars that we build. And when that window closes, there's no reopening it. Production ends December of 23.
The last call campaign marked a year-long celebration of an era that I don't think we'll see another pair of two cars ever have again in our lifetimes, including this gem we just seen a couple days ago. But behind this facade of last call celebrations, these Dodge dealerships acted less and less like a legitimate business and more like an organized crime family. There are a lot of parallels. Crime families are known to bribe and extort political figures, exerting their influence on them, while car dealerships go through a middleman called lobbying groups to bribe politicians the same way with campaign donations to change laws. Organized crime families are known for high profits through various activities, especially illegal ones, at high cost to others. Car dealerships, especially these Dodge dealers who lie to Dodge's face by submitting notarized paperwork that claimed that customers paid MSRP for a DB170, but I seem to have some evidence that these dealerships use fake buyers like this one right here to get customer order cars. Some had you bring cash in under the table, or had you spend $50,000 to buy a mug from a gift shop. Or like I revealed in this video, had you buy a second car, pay a markup on that second car, and then you were allowed to buy a Demon 170 at MSRP.
Pretty good, man. I see you're interested on that Demon.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the way we're working on it is that you have to buy a car today. This is the only day that you will be able to get it like this. You have to buy any type of car that I have in my dealership, like 75,000 over sticker on that car, and then you get your Demon at MSRP.
Oh, okay. So basically another car plus 75K.
Yes.
It was that new and used?
Not just new.
Just a new car?
Yeah.
A lot of these car dealerships have revealed their true nature, showing that they are just as corrupt as organized crime families operating with seemingly little impunity and evading legal accountability. It's become clear that some dealerships, wrapped in this cloak of perceived invincibility, believe that they are untouchable. However, the situation with Mac Hake was just the beginning. Since that case, my involvement has influenced several other Dodge dealerships to honor the contracts with their customers. But the battle is not over. There are still some dealers out there right now exploiting customers over Demon 170s. It must feel very empowering for these dealerships knowing that their markups have lined their pockets, especially during these festive seasons. They just love this. But let's not forget the aftermath of such greed. The Mac Hake debacle led to a national embarrassment, with cars stripped and employees fired. To those dealers who still believe they are untouchable, remember Mac Hake's fate. It got a whole lot worse before it got just slightly better for them. And the temporary gains from markups, they were very quickly overshadowed by having to return all the markup money, firing multiple employees, and even having to donate to charity to save some kind of face. To the Dodge dealers still selling Demon 170s, I implore you guys to honor your original deals with your customers. You definitely don't want channels like TK's Garage, OC Motivator, Lucky Lopez, Hemi, 1320, all of us making videos looking really deep into you, especially not me. While I may run the smallest channel among those who cover the Mac hate story, don't underestimate my influence on my channel. From top tier lawyers to social media influencers to even CEOs now, my connections are very extensive. Consider this a polite request to do the right thing before the situation escalates, especially later this year when my gift to you dealers are finally revealed. It's not just about what you know, how many views you get, but who you know. And I know enough to make a difference now. So before things turn for the worse, remember, I asked nicely. Beyond the Demon 170s, it's evident that these organized crime families have been marking up everything from scat packs to super stocks. While it's not entirely fair to place all the blame on Dodge, they're not all without some kind of fault. For instance, it was Dodge's decision to reintroduce the Durango Hellcat for additional model year runs, despite initially saying that it would be a 1 year only model.
Yep, there's still time to get the most powerful SUV ever. Durango SRT Hellcat is back for the 23 model year, and even though they were able to figure out how to keep building it, you all know the stories you heard about emissions, compliance, and blah, blah, blah. It is not detuned. Still 710 horsepower, 645 pound-feet of torque. This
decision, not the dealers, is questionable to me why Dodge didn't get the red-eye engine in a last call Durango or TRX. Now, I don't think a single person would be mad at the decision to make a red-eye SUV or red-eye pickup truck for the last call of this run for Dodge and Ram apparently. However, let's examine the other issues highlighted in the Never Lift campaign, which arguably marked the beginning of a downward spiral for Dodge. Take the jailbreak program, which was initially limited to only the so-called power brokers dealers. Thankfully, Dodge expanded the jailbreak program to nearly all the Hellcats and Red Eyes for 2023 model year. That way we had to worry about dealers like Rick Hendrick having control of only jailbreak models, which will really be bad. Remember the Challenger convertible option by drop top customers? Many of the dealers were reluctant to participate in this program, not wanting to front the cost to do the conversion for these cars. This limited the accessibility for certain people I knew who were trying to get a dealer who on one hand had a super stock allocation and then on the other hand will allow the car to go into this drop top customers program, which it was hard for some people to do. And I think 9 out of 10 people who wanted to go do this couldn't do it because they couldn't find an allocation for the car they wanted, and the dealer didn't want to do the whole drop top program, fronting the cost out of their pocket before the car got dropped off. I don't think a ton of people would have gotten this option done, but there could have been better coordination in order to get more people into this program. I won't even dive into the absurdity of the overpriced 6 sticker pack cars.
Now, we're also marking the end of this badass era with 6 unique special editions. Each of these 6 models pays tribute to a car that came before it. You guys know we love the teasers. Now here's the catch. The specific details on the individual editions is going to be kept under wraps until the dates shown on the car covers outside on the car carrier. So if you didn't look at the dates, make sure you pay attention.
It's insane to me that people would pay that much money for vinyl stickers on a car, with some paying over $100,000 for the Black Ghost and then turn around thinking that they're going to sell that Black Ghost straight up for a Demon 170. Instead of being collector cars, these dealers treated these sticker pack cars like baby Demon 170s until the real Demon 170 came out, and then people really got screwed because all the money they spent on those sticker pack cars, they couldn't translate it over to a Demon 170. But when the Demon 170 really came out, that's when you saw a lot of corruption. The real bad corruption began by a lot of these dealers. Oh my goodness. The introduction of the horsepower locator only made the last call even worse. By making it easy to track where specific models were heading and exactly how many opportunities that you didn't have to place an order, it gave the worst dealers the upper hand, often leading to absurd prices far above MSRP. I was against the horsepower locator the day that Tim Kuniskis announced it, and it caused a lot of headaches ever since.
So in October this year, we're gonna tell you every unit that we're gonna build for the final 12 months of production by trim and by dealer. And then we're gonna update that weekly on DodgeGarage.com. So you're gonna know where every single Hemi Charger, Challenger, RT, Scat Pack, Hellcat, Red Eye, you name it. Think about it as a horsepower locator, because we don't want any customers putting in orders at dealers that may not earn allocation for what they're looking for. We don't want you waiting for your dream car that's never gonna get delivered.
Personally, that horsepower locator should have only listed where the dealer's stock orders were going, and we should have been able to go on DodgeGarage.com as a customer, grab an allocation for a customer order, and pick whatever dealership in the country you want to take delivery from. Any dealer that wanted to mess around by having fake customers hoard allocations for the dealership, like Antioch, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram in California, they'll find out soon enough. When you mess around, you will find out. My previous videos on power brokers and the horsepower locator highlighted these issues, yet nothing has significantly improved. Dodge's well-placed intentions are continually twisted by these dealers against the very brotherhood they are supposed to serve. We dealt with a year of high markups. The UAW and Stellantis employees dealt with a year of not being able to use their discounts on cars, since they're the ones who are responsible for building the cars. And that's probably why the UAW got that new contract where now they have a new corporate leasing program that takes the control out of the dealers' hands. And now these dealers are temporarily dropping Challenger markups to win extra Demon 170 allocations. Well, not all of them. And now the Durangos are being offered at a seemingly reasonable price because they need to secure allocations for the 392 Durango Alchemy Edition. Maybe if Dodge made every Demon 170 allocation depending on sales numbers for Hellcats, Red Eyes, and Super Stocks, then maybe everyone else would have gotten a better deal on those vehicles. There was plenty of time between when Dodge pulled the 7th edition from SEMA to when the reveal happened in Las Vegas that we could have had a competition like the 20 days of horsepower, the 19 days of horsepower, to award the best-selling dealers with a Demon 170 allocation. Create a race to the bottom sales event, not a race to the top like we got with a horsepower locator. Unfortunately, the way the allocations and the power broker system are set up, many of the great dealers don't get their fair share of desirable models, and they are completely overshadowed by their greedier counterparts who love to scam customers. I haven't even scratched the surface in discovering all the back alley deals that some of these dealers made people sign just for Demon 170s. One of them had me commit wire fraud by sending my deposit to a fake buyer on a car that they had other than send the money to the dealership. These practices have made last call one of the most expensive and frustrating times to be a Dodge fan that I don't think I can ever recall in my 38 years of life on this earth. As regulations lead to fewer desirable vehicles, these dealers see this as their last call for insane markups. Now, I want you guys to remember these dealers when they come looking for your business next year. Remember the BS that these guys put you through. And my advice when they come calling, send them straight to voicemail. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think the power brokers, the horsepower locator, and the Never Lift campaign are some of the worst things introduced for Dodge fans? While Dodge may have had good intentions, their dealership network has a knack for corrupting these incentives or initiatives for their own personal gain. Make sure you leave this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you already done so. And until the next time, I'm out.
Watching the Horsepower Circus live, or you're tuned into the live stream from around the world, thank you. Thank you for joining us. And I want to give a special shout out and thank you to our dealers who made the trip to be with us here tonight. I know you came for Wednesday's meeting where we're going to be showing you everything that's coming from Dodge for the next 5 years. But we could not resist sharing this very special moment in Dodge's history with you, all together at the same time. The factory, our dealer partners, and our loyal customers. Just look around at this crowd. This is the brotherhood. So, if we really are truly drawn together with common interests, I guess we have kind of a bond. And that bond was tested recently.